The envelope was thick, the paper luxurious, cream-colored with golden patterns, the kind of invitation that screamed wealth. Ifunanya Chikazi stared at it, blinking in disbelief. She had only applied for a hospitality job online. A short interview followed. Now this. A job at the most anticipated wedding of the year. The billionaire Olisa Kalu and Princess Adwoa Mensa of Ghana. Her dreams of escaping the choking poverty in Onitsha suddenly felt within reach. Ifunanya packed what little she had, kissed her aging mother goodbye, and boarded a flight to Lagos, unaware that what awaited her would test her courage, her soul, and her will to survive. The Kalu estate in Ikoyi was unlike anything Ifunanya had ever seen. Acres of pristine lawns, a palatial mansion, imported orchids, and fountains that danced to music. The air smelled of expensive perfume, foreign flowers and secrets. "Welcome to paradise," said Madame Grace, the head of operations. Her smile was icy. Madame Grace laid out the rules quickly. Don't ask questions. Don't talk to guests unless they speak first. And whatever you see or hear, pretend you didn't. Understood. Ifunanya nodded. She didn't want trouble. She just wanted money to take care of Mama. She was assigned to the East Wing, responsible for the VIP guests. Politicians, foreign dignitaries, celebrities, and some men whose names she didn't recognize but whose security presence made her uneasy. They wore expressions like stone. Some held conversations in whispers. And there was always a strange tension in the air, like a tightly wound spring. Ifunanya worked silently, observing more than she spoke. The guests were wealthy, yes, but many behaved strangely. One guest, a man with a scar running from his temple to jaw, never removed his sunglasses, even at night. Another refused to eat any food not prepared by his own chef. Conversations stopped abruptly when staff entered. Eyes darted. Whispers hushed. One night, as she was returning to her quarters, she saw a man being escorted by 2 guards into a restricted corridor. His face was bruised, his hands cuffed. Before the door closed, he turned and looked directly at her. There was desperation in his eyes. He shivered. What had she just witnessed? The next morning she asked Chidima about it. Chidima simply whispered, "Some truths can kill you." The day before the wedding, Ifunanya was chosen to help the bride dress for a pre-wedding interview. Princess Adwoa was stunning, but her eyes told a different story. Red. Uffy. Me. "Do you believe in love, Ifunanya?" she asked suddenly. I think so." "I did too," Adwoa whispered. "But love isn't always the goal for families like mine." She paused, then grabbed Ifunanya's wrist tightly. "Run if you ever feel something is wrong. Promise me." Before Ifunanya could respond, Madame Grace entered. "What are you two whispering about?" Adwoa said nothing. Her eyes dulled, and she became a statue again. Later that day, Ifunanya saw Adwoa alone in the rose garden, weeping quietly. She tried to comfort her, but Adwoa waved her away, mouthing silently, "They're watching." That night, Chidima came to her in a panic. "Come with me. I need to show you something." They sneaked through the hallway, past the wine cellar, to a door marked Maintenance. Behind it, stairs led into a secret basement. The room was cold and humming with electricity. Lining the walls were crates marked with foreign stamps. Chidima opened one. Inside were guns. Dozens of them. There were boxes of bullets, grenades, and documents in codes. Screens on the wall showed maps, faces of political figures, transaction records. "What is this?" Ifunanya whispered. Chidima replied, "This isn't a wedding. It's a front for something else. Arms trafficking, maybe a coup." Suddenly, Footsteps echoed above. They barely escaped in time. Ifunanya slipped a USB drive into her pocket from the desk. The wedding began under gray clouds. Guests arrived in convoys. Security was tighter than the presidential inauguration. The bride walked slowly down the aisle, her smile forced. The groom stood tall and smug. Then, just as the priest said, "If there be any reason these two should not be joined," boom! An explosion rocked the estate. Glass shattered. Screams rang out. Smoke poured from the west wing. Gunshots. Kiss. People ran in all directions. Ifunanya ducked under a table. She saw bodies. Blood. Chidima screaming. The scar-faced man grabbed her. "Come with me. Now." The man, Uchenna, led her through a secret passage. "Who are you?" she cried. "Military intelligence. I've been undercover for 6 months. Alisa is a key player in international arms smuggling. This wedding was meant to finalize a deal. Someone tried to expose it. They were silenced. The explosion. An inside betrayal. Someone wanted him dead today." He pulled her through a kitchen, out a back gate, and into a van. "They'll kill you if they find out you saw the basement. Did you take anything?" She hesitated, then handed him the USB she had stolen. Safe in a hidden apartment in Ibadan, Ifunanya watched as Uchenna opened the files. Money trails, political bribes, arms shipments, assassination orders. It was all there. "We need to go public," Uchenna said. "They'll kill me. They'll kill everyone if you don't." They contacted a trusted journalist from Al Jazeera. The footage from the USB, the pictures Ifunanya had taken, and even audio recordings Chidima had secretly saved became the foundation of a global exposé. Ifunanya, trembling, recorded the video. "My name is Ifunanya Chikazi. I was a hospitality staff at the Alisa Kalu wedding. I saw the truth. I saw weapons. I saw documents. This wasn't a wedding. It was a cover for evil." The video spread like wildfire. Nigerian media picked it up. Then BBC Africa. Then CNN. Protests erupted. Investigations launched. Interpol got involved. Within a week, Alisa Kalu was caught trying to flee to Morocco. Princess Adwoa filed for annulment. Chidima was placed under witness protection. Ifunanya received death threats. But she also received prayers and offers from human rights organizations. Many officials were arrested. The president of a neighboring country was implicated. The Kalu estate was seized. Dozens of journalists descended on Ikoyi. But Ifunanya couldn't return to her old life. She lived under a new identity, protected by international whistleblower programs. Her mother was relocated to a safe country. Chidima started working with the UN. But the weight of what they had uncovered never left them. 1 year later, Ifunanya stood on a stage in South Africa, accepting the African Courage Award. She wore a simple gown, her hair natural, her smile genuine. "I was just a girl who needed a job. I wanted to help my mother, not uncover evil. But when the moment came, I had a choice. Be silent, or speak. And I chose to speak." The crowd stood clapping. Among them in disguise sat Princess Adwoa, her eyes glistening. The two women exchanged a knowing glance. And far away, in a modest house in Onitsha, Mama Chikazi held a framed photo of her daughter and wept tears of pride. Ifunanya now works with a global non-profit, helping women escape dangerous work conditions. She tells her story to inspire others, to warn them, to empower them. Her life was forever changed by one job she thought was a dream. But in surviving it, she became a symbol of truth. A girl from nowhere who exposed billionaires, toppled corruption, and saved lives. All because she chose to speak. Then,